So I'm the kind of guy that, well, somebody dropped off a bunch of like old electric tools and stuff. But I'm the kind of guy that if I didn't have to make money every day, I would just play with my own stuff all day long at the compound. Totally pointless. Like, look at this. I'm sure you've seen something like this before, right? Made in Chicago, actually. How old could this be? Like from the 50s or something? And it still works. Trigger speed control. Now if you get one, it's not made in Japan, it's not made in Taiwan, it's made in China. And it doesn't, you know, it ain't gonna last like 60 years. Not that you really need it to, but like that Harbor Freight tool that I have in one of my shorts, the thing lasted 5 minutes. 5 minutes as opposed to 50 years or more. You know, that's why there's a lot of crime in the city too. You know, in Chicago, there's no jobs. You know, they keep, oh, go to college and learn that. There's only so much room for the highly educated people. What about all the manufacturing jobs? Where did they all go? We've been sold out since President Nixon. He's the guy that started it all. This old TV right here, I should never have left it outside. It's been sitting outside for I don't know how long. It did work. Look at that. Casting is actually made out of aluminum. Anyway, there's more drills and stuff over here, and I would suspect that they, well, if that one works, they probably all do. Tool Master. This must have been like the cheapo type way back when. Somebody probably tried selling it. There's like a homemade price tag on there. Toastmaster. I guess back in the day that must have been kind of like the generic brand, but it probably still works. Let's plug it in. Just for the heck of it, I don't know. I find so many of these, and somebody actually dropped this off, probably one of the truck drivers or something, here on the property. Look at that. You can feel and you can hear that the cheapo brand isn't quite as good as the Skill brand. Toastmaster. Well, it's a heck of a lot better quality than what you can find today. Doesn't sound like the RPMs are super high. McGraw Edison, Elgin, Illinois. It does use a lot of electricity. It says 3 amps. If you can see that, I don't know if the camera can focus in on that. So as far as being energy efficient, I guess it's not, but really, how energy efficient do you want your drill to be that you're using for about 3 seconds at a shot, or maybe a minute at the most? I don't think it really matters, does it? Well, King, if you get 1 million people using those drills that draw 3 amps. You know, I could see people doing calculations. Okay. Here's some other tools somebody dropped off. This is more like from, I don't know, what would you say, the 80s or 90s? Probably still works. It's like sometime, I don't know, back in like the late 80s or maybe early 90s, car companies stopped painting car engines. You know how like the older cars, the car engines are painted? I can't remember when they suddenly stopped, not suddenly, but subtly stopped painting car engines. Okay, well the Black & Decker does not work. Black & Decker, Townsend, Maryland, USA. Doesn't say that it was made here, it's just where the company was located. Doesn't say where it was made. But even if it was made here, I think that's when the quality start lock. Well, the King didn't see the lock switch, but it doesn't move anyway. Let's get a piece of metal to persuade it to move over there. Nah, still ain't working. Junk. So, when did they start making junk? I guess when they got away from making tools out of metal. Which, isn't it kind of dangerous when you think about it? It's plugged in, it's electricity, it's all metal, you know, electric shock, etc. Maybe plastic was safer. Here's another Black & Decker, a plastic one. Double insulated. Double insulated, 1.6 amps. That's probably what, from maybe like mid 1980s, mid 1990s. Short cord. Well, that's 2 for 2 on the plastic ones. It ain't working. I swear I could like mess around with, if I didn't need to make money every day, I could like just mess around with stupid stuff, tinker around. But it would, maybe when I'm 90 I'll do that. Putter around with, oh, look at this old thing. Sears Roebuck and Company. You know, whenever you see it like that, it probably works. Because my claim is, back then, they didn't have a concept of creating stuff so that it just falls apart. Except back then, like the wiring technology left a lot to be desired. So yeah, let's plug this in and see what happens. Well, what are you expecting to do, King? Dance in the street? Maybe. I don't know. She's a runner. You could hear like the power of that motor though. I love the way those things sound. What is that pitch? Does anybody know? It's got like a rhythm to it. Back then, even the build plate was made out of brass. I took the fan belt off because whatever's wrong with this thing, it seemed to be like slowing it down or something. It was making the motor struggle. It doesn't seem to spin freely. Looks like this is like an oiler or something. Looks like some kind of a cap. Doesn't that look like a cap of some kind? It doesn't turn or anything like that. It's almost a shame to scrap something like that, even though it is pretty heavy. There's guys on YouTube that take them electric motors apart and get the windings out. That guy is not me. There's other people that are like way better at it. So we will leave. We'll leave the electric motor winding disassembly processes to somebody else who is better at it and more profitable. So I'm reinstalling the fan belt and we'll see if it goes, which it didn't want to. It seemed like there was too much of a load to overcome. I don't know if it needs oil or something, but see? Yeah, I'm gonna end up tripping a circuit breaker or something if I keep that up. And that wouldn't be good because the fuse block for my building is in the neighbor's building, so see. Yeah. Well, this doesn't turn. I know there's a wire in the way, but that's not interfering with it. Feels like there's a lot of, who knows. Motor runs though. These days there would be like a rubber stopper there or something at least. Who knows? What other ones you guys want to play with? I'll assume that maybe 2 out of those 3 plastic ones don't work. This Black & Decker saw, this probably works. These usually, even the cheapo ones, at least the motor still will turn. I guess a lot of people don't like these because they don't have safety standards, is not the same. I guess. I don't know enough about it. I just know, hey, let's plug this in and see if it goes. But the older ones, they don't have that motor stop. Like when you get off the switch, the motor comes to an abrupt stop. Like even those plastic Jeeps that kids ride around on, those Barbie Jeeps, etc. They have once you get off the accelerator pedal, the motor stops. I mean, it comes to like a resting stop. Whereas the older motors, like these, you kill the power to it and it's still rolling. Yeah, these are actually kind of hard to kill. At least the older ones. It's made out of metal though, not plastic. Seems like when they went to plastic, things just things stopped working actually. Don't ask me, I have no idea what this is exactly for, except for maybe like wood. Some kind of wood finishing tool. I don't. I'm a scrapper. Well, people on YouTube don't call me a scrapper, they call me a recycler. What? Well then, everybody's scrapping as a recycler, right? I'm a scrapper. I find scraps, junk of all different sizes, and bring it in. Well, I got it plugged in, but that little switch right there, it's like a button switch. And it's working. There we go. It was like a little sticky there. Works good actually. Have I bored everybody enough? Alright, I'm done playing around here. The day is getting on. Whew. Sun is the sun's low at any point of the day during this time of year, so I mean the sun comes up about over there, gets up to about that high, and then in the summertime the sun is pretty much straight up and down, so I don't know. That's my area of the planet. So the days are shorter, a lot shorter. We're running about just a little over 9 hours of actual daylight today. So the scrap yards are going to be closed. Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving in the USA is 5-6 weeks after the one in Canada, which I think is the first week of October or something. First week or second week? Second week maybe. Yeah. I don't know why that is. I'll just guess. I didn't Google it. I never looked it up. But I would attribute it to maybe a shorter growing season. I guess. I don't know. So tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and then the day after, Friday is called Black Friday because of all the sales. And that kicks off the Christmas buying season. And all the madness that comes along with that. people buying stuff for. It's great for the economy. Let's put it that way. It's not bad. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing to have a materialistic Christmas. And I'll be the only voice you ever hear in saying that.